Adrenaline rush.
Adrenaline rush.
Adrenaline
Cocaine rush.
Cocaine rush.
Ah,
We're back.
welcome back to anyone who still remembers us. I'm
we
Mega
had
Fighter.
small amounts of viewers. I'm
We had a
Ash.
few viewers.
Uh,
Just incredible. Probably still. Oh wait, no, we stopped using Twitter, but
yeah. I might remake a Twitter just to advertise these.
or Mega Mastodon.
I don't think anyone's gonna look at it on Mastodon.
Yeah. We could always make a. We could always. Fuck it. So yeah, we are back. I'm Mega Fighter, and that's Allie. We're the Wrassleboys.
Yeah. There's
The
one
only
guy who listens to our episodes like every 3 days. So if you're that guy, we got some new shit for you.
Yeah.
So, there was a kind of an unexpected end to Wrestle Boys because my mom died. Then we did an
Yeah.
episode, and then we stopped doing episodes.
I think at some point your mic broke again or something.
My mic broke, and then my computer broke, in that order.
Yeah. I think like your mic broke again while we were watching a Raw, and then we never got back to that Raw.
Yeah, and we never got back to it. And also, there was just too much shit going on, because, like, watching 4 hours of wrestling and keeping up with modern wrestling, and both of us having jobs, and also dealing with my grieving father and me and my family. It was a lot.
It was a lot.
And I kind of felt like if I don't cut some projects out of like what I'm doing, I will go crazy.
Yeah.
And
honestly, given where Raw was at that point when we were watching, it was probably for the best that we stopped with WWE.
Yeah. So
And the final nail in the coffin is the recent news.
yeah,
Vince McMahon is coming back.
Yeah, Vince got fired and then he came back because he took the company hostage or something.
He's pretty much holding the company hostage to get himself back in. Ostensibly, it's to sell WWE, but I feel like that's a fucking lie. I don't trust anything Vince is up to.
So I've been wanting to do the podcast again for a while, but I wasn't sure, like, should we just go back to what we were doing? Because I felt like the methods we were using were kind of flawed. Like,
yeah.
Doing SmackDown and Raw together means that every SmackDown we have less energy. Right?
Right.
And it means we notice less and we don't pay attention all that much. And then I'll forget things that happen on SmackDown. So we're starting new year, new me, whatever.
New year, new Wrassleboys, and
We're
our
starting
new project,
with the fresh slate. What the fuck was peak TNA?
Where's the fuck? We decided on 2007 TNA specifically to cash in on the Perk Angle meme.
Yeah, we're cashing in on the Perk Angle meme. I wanted to know what they meant by Perk Angle.
We wanted to understand Perk Angle and what it was like.
2006 was the original idea, but Kurt Angle only showed up like late 2006, so I thought,
late 2006,
2007.
Yeah, so 2007 is when it really starts rolling.
And we decided to watch the first episode, and what the fuck?
Holy shit! So they do start off with like a recap. With Samoa Joe winning Mr. TNA 2006 or something like that.
He won tits and ass.
He won tits and ass. But, like, during this recap, like, Kurt Angle, like, comes out and he's attacking this woman.
I think it's Karen Angle?
Is it Karen Angle?
I think they hired Karen Angle and they had Samoa Joe, like, in a love interest for her, and then Kurt Angle, with angry divorced dad energy, like, was trying to manipulate him into getting a match.
Yeah, well, because Samoa Joe in the later interview says you attack someone close to me.
Yeah.
So I don't entirely know if that's Karen Angle.
He was briefly dating Karen Angle in kayfabe.
I don't know. If that is, they would have probably named her, right? Did they say Karen Angle on the show?
I couldn't hear the commentary. It was too quiet.
Or it was fucking audio overlapped.
So... yeah, we do a recap, and Kurt does that thing where, like, he's doing the hostage negotiation, and Samoa Joe's like, let her go, I'll do the thing you want. And then Kurt's like, cool. And then he snaps her ankle anyway.
Yeah.
So we start with, like, Samoa Joe bursting into Jim Cornette's office. Jim Cornette's here, by the way.
Yeah, so here we got a commissioner or whatever fucking title he has, Jim Cornette.
Samoa
He's the
Joe's in
man in
like
charge.
prime angry mouth breathing mode, and like Cornette's just like, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't hurt me, man! I don't."
He's not gonna hurt. Joe is not here to hurt Jim Cornette. He is here to hurt Kurt,
I
and
want to
Kurt
Kurt
is
hurt.
here. And Kurt is here to hoe Joe, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So we start with the intro. We get kind of like a. It almost sounded like the Dynamite theme, but with no lyrics.
Yeah.
And
There was
then the audio fucks up.
yeah. At some point, like we're not sure what happened here. At first, I thought I had like another like page on Impact Plus open, and it was playing like a live show.
I thought I was getting like bleed over from you, or I opened the page twice. But no, it's like the commentary's running twice. It's running
Yeah.
like 5 seconds ahead, but really quiet, and then normal volume. And it was
they're
just like
overlapping.
Mike Tenay talking over himself, and
Like usually we just run this straight through with very little pauses. I had to pause and go back to see if that was actually in the in the video, and it's like, yeah, it's there. Like we
and
didn't
like
fuck up.
all these explosions and like all these talking over themselves and the echoing and the bleeding. I was like, is am I having a fever dream?
Is this what ADHD is like?
I just got over COVID. This feels like COVID nightmare, like COVID haze plus ADHD combined into one.
It's like, what the fuck's happening?
What the fuck is happening?
And then we get our first match.
Yes, Robert Roode.
Robert Roode versus Rhino.
And
Where,
I think he's got Brooke Tessmacher with him.
Miss Brooks, Tracy Brooks.
Tracy Brooks.
I
Sorry,
think,
there's a lot of. I guess this is someone's fetish to have like a brunette with glasses in a suit.
I mean,
it might be this.
If it was a full suit, I'd understand, but this isn't really a full suit. This is like
that kind of like
sexy Halloween,
sexy Halloween like paralegal outfit, right?
Yeah. But yeah, he actually sends Miss Brooks off during his entrance because he's upset at her because she's screwing up his matches, I think.
The ref looks really strange.
I was almost convinced it was Tomko, but it's not.
He looks like David Draymond from Disturbed, and he's wearing comfy shorts.
Yeah.
Those like shorts you wear indoors when you want to like just lounge around and not have your balls be hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we mentioned Robert Roode. He is facing Rhino, I believe we said.
Yes, he's facing Rhino.
Yeah. So it's a fairly standard match. Too exciting.
They just go for a couple minutes. It's pretty standard. It's nothing really offensive or bad.
It's solid back and forth.
These two guys are decent. It's fine.
Yeah.
Miss Brooke comes back out, and I think she tries to interfere with Rhino, but Rhino takes advantage and tries to distract Rhino.
He grabs her, like, or in.
What?
Stops it, distracts her, gets rolled up.
It's a roll up 3 count. Roode's pissed. Roode's pissed at Brooke for like costing him the match, and then suddenly AJ Styles shows up.
And then AJ Styles just suddenly appears and starts beating on Rhino, and then he and Roode kind of double team him.
Yeah, they double team him. He hits a Styles clash on Rhino, which is kind of impressive. Rhino's a big motherfucker.
Rhino's a pretty big dude, and he also managed to like do like what I think you're supposed to do with like the Styles clash. It's like, what was it again? Like I think you look up. Yeah, you look up. So the way like he managed to do it. So yeah, cool.
Jeremy Borash is in the back trying to talk to Jim Cornette at his office, but Eric Young kind of shows up, starts talking about how his friend, who's him, is like seeing
he has some sort of problem.
Has a problem, and he's seeing this girl, and he's not sure what to do. And then Brooke shows up, and like she threatens him by saying like, you better have the thing I was talking about last week, or you're fired.
And I started thinking of like fucking Peter Potamus or whatever his name was from Harvey Birdman. Did you get the thing I sent you?
I wish I watched Harvey Birdman. I didn't.
It was pretty good, yeah. At one point, Eric Bischoff calls Jeremy Borash the love doctor.
Eric Young.
Or Eric Young. Eric Young.
Yeah, calls him
Sorry.
the love doctor. And then after Brooke threatens to fire him, he just asked about pickles.
Well, he said he's gonna be in a real pickle, or his friend's gonna be in a
His
real
friend's in a
pickle.
real pickle. Also, I want pickles. You got any money for pickles?
It's like, speaking of pickles, you got any money?
Eric Young wants to go get some pickles.
Yeah. And I mean, it's better than him getting fired. He's wearing the shirt. Don't fire Eric.
Yeah, he do not fire Eric. He is unfireable in that shirt.
And then we get a police 911 call. Help me! They're in my.
Actually, you missed a segment.
Oh, I missed a segment.
Pretty much Samoa Joe spits on the camera and threatens Kurt Angle again in like a dank locker room.
Oh, I forgot about the dank locker room. That's where it's like where Samoa Joe says you hurt someone close to me, and it's just like. So that still doesn't lead to the question: is it Karen Angle? Is it like Samoa Joe's girlfriend, wife, sister?
I think they're like a couple or something. I don't know.
Like you think it's got? Yeah, there's got to be some sort of connection here.
And now we go to VKM, which is
Vulcan Mafia.
They're dressed in sombreros and ponchos and have like little bandoliers of bullets on their chests.
I think only Road Dogg had the bandoliers. By the way, I know what their names are in TNA, but fuck it, we're just gonna call them Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
James and
Kip James.
Kip James, they're related. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fuck it. They're Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
So Billy Gunn starts talking, and then Road Dogg cuts him off, and he's just like, "I got this. I took my Zoloft."
It took his so long. Apparently, they're just like arguing over who's gonna take the stick.
This
and
is
at some point
kind of pathetic.
And Billy Gunn like whips out a megaphone during this promo, and this is of course. This is because they're shooting. They're shooting, Daddy. They're going after Vince McMahon. They're offering like the $1 million to fight anyone from Vince's locker room.
Please
notice
they tried to invade like a house show, and Triple H did like a little wave, and they pretended they were like mentally handicapped, and they did like little waves at the camera.
Wait, did you say Triple H? I believe you mean Paul Levesque. Paul Levesque.
And Michael Hickenbottom,
who's in San Antonio right now. San Antone. And we're gonna fight him. They were just Alamo.
Like, it's been a month since we called you out, Vince, and you haven't responded. And Paul Levesque, you waved at me one time. Sean, Michael Hickenbottom. Answer my phone call.
Notice us, DX Senpai.
At high noon at the Alamo.
If you got them,
bring a gun.
Bring a gun. He said like this phrase like 3 fucking times where it was like, if you got him or something like that. And it was just like, oh my God, Road Dogg, please. It's the most repetitive shit.
Pull a gun on me.
It was high noon at the Alamo, $1 million. If you got him, we got guns.
I don't think he's going to show up.
I think he once said, like, if you're looking for us, we're the idiots in the ponchos and sombreros. And it's like, I mean, you don't have to say that you're idiots.
We can tell.
That
just sort of happened, and then we cut
to the musical chairs.
Kevin Nash fun time.
We're playing musical chairs with Team Paparazzi Productions or whatever it is.
The X Division.
It's basically the X Division.
I saw Sanjay Dutt. I saw Low Key.
It was like Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Senshi as he was called at the time,
Austin Aries with his old gimmick,
and Alex Shelley.
Yeah, and they were playing musical chairs, and they were trying different songs out, and then Kevin Nash calls Jay Lethal a cracker.
He calls him a cracker, which is weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, I guess Kevin Nash is now banned on Twitch.
Sorry, Big Kev.
Austin Aries wins the musical chairs while we are continuing.
One of the songs was Adrenaline Rush.
Adrenaline Rush.
And
We are
there's no time to breathe in all these segments. They're just like this one, this one, this one, this.
because now we're at Jeremy Borash sitting down with Gail Kim to talk about like the implosion of America's Most
Yeah, Gail
Wanted.
Kim's here. They don't have the women's division yet. They don't have the knockouts division. It's just
Yes.
Gail Kim's a valet for America's Most Wanted, and she was kind of in the middle of the turmoil. And while they're talking, James Storm I think it's James Storm, right?
James Storm, yeah. James Storm just kind of saunters in.
He saunters
with
in,
like a
sits
beer
down
and a chair.
chair, puts a beer on it, and then he grabs Jeremy Borash's chair, slides him off screen,
I genuinely thought he was just about to kidnap Jeremy Borash for some reason.
calls Jeremy Borash a woman because, like, he says that the only women here are him and Gail Kim.
Gail Kim and Jeremy Borash.
Tells Gail Kim that, like, you don't have a job here if you don't work for me. Go back to Walmart. And then he just gets really racist.
She tells her to go to her uncle's wok and make some rice patties, and it's just like, Jesus Christ.
God damn.
Like, we were not ready for that, let me tell you.
We're recording this like right after we watched it because it's just there was so much shit. We're not gonna remember all of it.
We're not gonna remember this because it was just hitting us all at once.
And then that ends after like James Storm kind of squares up on her and makes her uncomfortable by getting in her personal space. And then LAX is here.
Oh shit, Duck!
Gunshots and footage of like various Latino riots and stuff.
Yeah, this is to lead into a match: Homicide versus Brother Runt in a Mexican street fight.
This
which
goes
is very
like 2
weird.
minutes.
We were mostly questioning why it's called a Mexican street fight. Because Homicide's
rules.
in it, and we were like, "Wait,
So,
is Homicide even Mexican?"
I got on my one of my ADHD tangents of like, let's just see if he's Mexican or not. And it turns out he was born in a borough of Brooklyn that has a lot of Puerto Ricans in it.
So yeah, we are believing that Homicide is in fact Puerto Rican.
He's Puerto Rican, but he was born in Brooklyn. That's all.
Yeah.
And
the match was just over as we were looking up.
There were several chair shots to the head, a ladder spot.
There was that really wonky looking apron bump that Brother Runt took, Spike Dudley.
Yeah.
Like he kind of landed on
Spike
his leg.
Dudley's
weird.
got this terrible fucking mohawk, by the way. It's
got
awful.
this terrible mohawk, yeah.
It's too wide and it doesn't stand up. It's just like
yeah. While we were trying to figure out whether Homicide is Mexican or not, the match just kind of ends. We didn't even see what the finish was.
Conan comes out.
Yeah. Hernandez and Conan come out to beat down on Spike.
Homicide hits the Gringo Killer.
He's going for the Gringo Killer, but he gets stopped by Bully Ray. Brother Ray, I believe it would be
and
at this point.
I think Brother Devon, maybe?
I think it was only Brother Ray. I would have noticed if Brother Devon was there.
I thought I saw
Brother Ray,
maybe it was like a recap. Or
maybe he was just there to stop Conan.
So after that fight clears, we get another segment of Jerry Lynn talking shit about young people.
Oh my God! Yes, it was like a recap for a feud with Christopher Daniels.
It was Christopher Daniels and someone else. I think it's one of the Motor City Machine Guns, just guy with
Sabin.
It might have been Chris Sabin.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Jerry Lynn starts talking about peanut butter, and I remember he talked about peanut butter in his feud with AJ Styles back in 2002. What is with Jerry Lynn and peanut butter? Does he just
Jerry Lynn just really likes peanut butter, I guess.
Hey, if you find Jerry Lynn, just hand him a peanut butter sandwich. I feel like you'd make his day marginally better. And make sure you get the good peanut butter. I'm talking Jif.
Get him that
I'm talking
creamy
Skippy.
Jif.
I'm talking Peter Pan. Like nothing else.
Yeah. Creamy Jif, always good.
Yeah, creamy Jif. Just give Jerry Lynn some creamy Jif.
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels, he wants to win. It's weird he looks about exactly the same as he does
pretty
now.
Much. As soon as he shaved his head, he pretty much never stopped looking any different.
He just looks like he's perpetually 35.
Yeah. We get a long and very uncomfortable sequence where James Mitchell.
So I think James Mitchell like takes Abyss back to the asylum that he was in for a while. And he's trying to talk him out of being friends with Sting because they got that big match coming up on a Final Resolution 2007.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
like he's
cowering and whimpering in the corner, and James Mitchell's like beating him with a cane. I have a soft spot for James Mitchell. I feel like he's a good. I have a soft spot for James Mitchell. I think he's a good heel.
Oh, he's great. But it's just this whole segment. Maybe it was just because eventually Abyss's screaming was just starting to get on my nerves.
Abyss is screaming like a cow. Like,
yeah. And it's like, oh my God, Chris, please just do something else.
Abyss has enough. Goozles James Mitchell and then pushes him against the fence. Says that like Christian doesn't know the true secret about you. I do, and I'm gonna reveal it if you keep being friends with Sting. Sorry, my throat's going out.
If you keep being friends with Sting, I'll reveal the true secret, the full thing. 16 years, 18 months. Poke. And then we get straight. I think is it straight to the main event match?
Straight to the main event.
Christian Cage with Tomko versus Kurt Angle.
Cage.
Oh yeah, well Jim Cornette yells on the screen first.
Yeah, he's talking shit about Christian. So Tomko's barred from the triple threat match at a Final Resolution.
I have the quote here of "You haven't liked any decision I've made" from Jim Cornette, which is just
thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
And here comes Kurt Angle with his weird theme song that sounds like an alien showing up.
Yeah. This was before they brought in the trademark to sing it, I think.
Yeah,
or was this with him?
No, I don't think he was in it.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, so Kurt Angle gets about halfway to the ramp, and then Samoa Joe's doing a run-in, except he's doing I would say a light jog toward Kurt Angle.
There wasn't nearly enough distance for a full pelt. So
a brisk jog. I feel like I would have got him when he was doing the flag thing at the ramp. I would just go, rah! Run at him like a fucking train.
So this
Samoa Joe's in a Gears of War shirt. I love
Samoa Joe brought to you by Gears of War.
I love Gears of War. I don't know any of the characters from Gears of Coltrane. Yeah.
Coltrane. Dom.
Yeah. That
one. Marcus Phoenix. There we
go.
Yeah.
So they fight around the ring, and Christian's just kind of standing in the ring, shrugging.
Batista. Batista's also a character in Gears of War.
Batista.
Yeah, this just turns into not Christian Cage versus Kurt Angle. It just becomes a Samoa Joe Kurt Angle fight
around the ring, and Cornette comes out and he's like, cut it out. And then
he says, you guys can beat each other up, just don't hurt the fans. Security's kind of like corralling them out of the way of the crowd.
So they go into the back. Kurt Angle chokes him with the shirt. They go into this little staging area. There's several wet floor signs. They fight near an ashtray.
Yeah, they fight with at this wall where there's these gold plaques kind of all around the building.
Yeah, they run his head into the plaques, and then they go a little bit farther down, and the cameraman's got this really long cord, and they're trying not to trip on the fucking thing as they walk to their next spot. They go into this narrow hallway, and Samoa Joe whacks him with a wet floor sign. And then Kurt Angle grabs the largest, most inconvenient wall paneling.
This piece of wall paneling, and he's just going to fucking
He's just
town
swinging
with
it
this
as fast as he can, but it's too
wide
for the hallway.
He doesn't even. I don't think he even cares where it lands. It's just he's just flinging.
It's too wide for the hallway, so he's just shoving it into Samoa Joe,
Okay, yeah. So now we see where he's truly gone nuts.
He's gone fucking nuts.
This is just insanity we're watching here.
So Kurt Angle gets thrown through a door, and then they're outside, and there's Christmas floats everywhere. Samoa Joe bites Kurt Angle on the head.
Right in the middle of his dome. And
then they kind of go to a production truck, and Samoa Joe throws Kurt Angle through a table. and there's this guy who's trying to break up the fight, and he's bigger than both of them, weirdly.
Oh yeah. I also remember the security guy with a Santa hat on. That was
That's the security guy with the Santa hat, and everyone's following them, both of them, and they're just going, Joe, Joe.
Joe.
So I guess Samoa Joe's. Oh yeah, Samoa Joe is the babyface.
Yeah, Samoa Joe is the babyface.
And then we cut, and Kurt Angle has teleported back to the ring.
Right, there's like a commercial break, and then we're back in the ring with like Jim Cornette
They're
yelling
a
at
ways
Kurt
off.
Angle.
Did they fucking run back?
Like, I was like, was this just some sort of weird fever dream we watched where like Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe fought?
Kurt Angle turns to the camera and he's just like, and that's what I would have done.
Like a Prince of Persia thing.
That's what I would have done if Samoa Joe attacked me. So he's getting chewed out by Jim Cornette, and then Samoa Joe comes and attacks him again.
Yeah, they fight a bit more. I think eventually we get
They
to...
fight to get more.
Get
They
back
kind
to-
of get pressed up against... They get thrown onto, like, Mike Tenay at some point. Also, rip Don West.
Oh, yes, rest in peace, Don West.
And then Cornette's like, I've had enough. If you two want to fight, it'll be a 60-minute Iron Man match.
It was 30 minutes.
30-minute Iron Man match because we don't have enough time for a 60-minute one.
No, they don't have enough pay-per-view time for that. But hell, that's going to be nice at Final Resolution.
Oh, that's going to be sick, I bet. Like,
hell yeah.
85% sure that's going to be at least a 4-star match.
Oh, that's going to be a hell of a match.
Christian's like, I'm still here.
Christian's still here.
Kind of attacks.
We finally get the match.
He attacks Kurt Angle because he wants the match to start, and Tomko threatens the timekeeper to start the match. And then Kurt Angle, who's just fired up and he's got his fucking singlet down, just starts suplexing him.
Then Tomko runs in. They do the beat. They do a double team.
Then the lights go out, and it's Sting, and Sting saves like
Kurt
Angle, and shit's just crazy.
And that's it. That's the show.
And that's the show. And then you get like an AMV of what happened.
And we get an AMV of what happened.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck? We have never had a show so utterly confuse us. Even early TNA felt like at least there was time to breathe.
Yeah, like some segments in early TNA felt like you could hear someone in the crowd die. You know? Just
well, here there is no time for crowd death.
There's dead air and cringe in some wrestling, but then more dead air. And then the fucking shitty segment with Disco Inferno. But no, this was like a 2-hour show packed into 1 hour, but in the worst way possible.
I've never done any sort of like recreational drugs. I imagine this is what it's like to be on amphetamines.
I feel like there's this segment in like Mad Max Fury Road where like they intentionally like overcrank the footage to kind of show like how Mad Max is being traumatized by all the
when
bad
he's like
shit.
strapped onto the thing.
Yeah. It feels
that's how I feel.
It feels like that. It just things are coming at you and you don't understand them. Was this show good? I feel so conflicted. I'm not sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, we were entertained, but I don't know if it was by intent of like what the show was presenting.
I was worried that I wanted to do like a rating system for like the episode, but all I can do is go like, what?
What?
What the fuck was that?
I get
so. These shows are only like 40-something minutes and change.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we can, it's not a promise, we're going to try and do 2 a week.
Yeah.
If we do 1 in a week instead of 2, that's just because one of us got busy or whatever.
Yeah.
They will switch to 2 hours this year, and then we'll just go back to doing 1 a week again.
At some point, and that'll make it easier, yeah.
Until then, I don't know.
We're back.
We're back.
I guess.
I feel like I've made a terrible mistake. How do we end these?
Shit
is Sting!